Sad eyes, wipe your tears, put on a pretty smile. Things are gonna get better. Time, stand in the mirror, honey. Try on.
Hello, this is Lonnie Stark of Stark Silver Creek, and I'm here with Susan O'Malley, one of the curators of the Institute of Contemporary Arts, and we're here to talk about the latest collection that's going to be shown. Is opening on August 7th, right?
That's right, August 7th. This is an exhibition called NextNew Green. It's a show that we do every 2 years. The NextNew show we do every 2 years, and it features local emerging talent. So artists who have recently graduated from MFA programs in the last 5 years. So these are 9 different perspectives of how humans are impacting our environment. And all of the artists really raise interesting questions about what's going on in this really big dialogue that ranges from recycling your paper bag to the hard science of what climate change looks like, and thinking about how collectively we can make a difference in our environment. This is a piece by an artist named Misako Inaoka, and she oftentimes uses ordinary toys that you would find at a toy store and combines them. So they're these hybrid animal machines that she puts together to make these play pieces for this chessboard. And what Misako is really interested in is looking at how nature is able to survive even in the most dire situations. Animals have to evolve to survive. She's sort of suggesting in kind of a humorous way, these are what the animals have to do in order to survive. And this piece is actually part of a larger project called Survival Games, and which she's really nicely put on a chessboard, which you do think of it's a game. You have to have a certain strategy to it, and these are perhaps these little creatures' survival games.
Don't you worry about this. Don't you worry about that.
And this artist, Michelle Blade, she's in San Francisco, and her paintings are really interesting in that they kind of straddle the line between presenting situations that are happening in that nature that could be either utopic or dystopic. So she's really interested in these phenomenal moments in nature. So there's this huge moon, there's an incredible sky, and then you see an encampment below. And what's happening has a lot of ambiguity to it.
Yeah, like it asks a lot of questions, but I think it's also interesting because you get the serene elements of this moon, but then you have what looks like sort of like a parking lot in the middle of it all.
Yeah. So it's really kind of raising questions about landscape and also what is really happening. Are they just camping, or is there something more extraordinary going on? I think this piece as well kind of raises those questions. There's this amazing sky with a lot of light happening, and then you see a flood of sailboats, of ships, and there's, for me, I wonder, well, is this something that's really positive? Or is everyone going to join together and have like a moment of kumbaya, or is this kind of on the verge of something a little bit more fearful or scary? I think a lot of the artists actually in this exhibition kind of present the light and the dark of just the reality of humans being greedy, consuming.
And now, what's caught my eye is this particular piece, which makes me think of intestines.
Yes.
So what is this piece?
Yeah, actually the artist I think is thinking a lot about intestines or just bodily forms too. And if you look closer though, it's a lot of balloons. She's attaching one balloon after another to make this huge form. And what Sandra's really interested in is manifesting those things that we kind of can't really see, like our anxiety, the feeling of a lump in our throat, into these material objects. And she uses products that oftentimes are in contact with our bodies. She uses balloons. Over here she's using artificial fingernails.
Yeah. Actually, let's talk about the piece, because what's interesting about this piece is even before I figured out what it was made out of, I felt like it was like a, you know, like a
Yes.
little, like someone taking
Yeah.
their hands and going and
Yeah.
their nails and sort of scratching the back of my neck or like chalkboard.
Icky, yeah,
Yeah,
something
thanks,
really
Clint.
icky. Yeah, absolutely.
And I looked closer, I'm like, it's acrylic nail, like, ugh.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting about her work is that it's, for me, it's expressing this anxiety that we have, that there's things that are in the air that we can't even see that may be impacting our bodies and our relationship with our body that sometimes is really disconnected with not understanding all the chemicals, all the bioengineered foods that are, that we consume and not really understanding what the impact will be years on the head. So I think that she does a really good job at
evoking that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Susan, for taking us on a quick tour of some of the pieces here. And I look forward to the opening, which is happening on August 7th here at the Institute of the Contemporary Arts, which is just a little south from downtown on First Street.
Yep. Yeah.
So come down and visit and see
Thank
some
you.
of these pieces. Well, thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for coming by.